Darren, Braddy, your mayor here in Cooper. I want to thank the owners of the Emma Grace for allowing us to come video today. The Dwyers, Paul and Jennifer. A beautiful place. If you get a chance, come check it out. Topics today, we want to talk about dogs. We want to talk about permits. And then we want to talk about a new group that's been put together, the Delta County Action Team. So let's start off with dogs. Number 2 complaint in town, under streets. Streets number 1 still is. Dogs number 2 for sure. And I know I've said this at council meetings in different times, but I wanted to get this communicated out across so that everybody could hear. We have no shelter in Cooper, and we've been advised by SPCA and every other shelter not to open one because of the financial commitment and then the flack that comes along when you start putting dogs down from the activist groups. So the expense obviously being the biggest deterrent for us. No cities around us will accept dogs out of the county in their shelter other than Hunt County, and that's the Greenville location only, not Commerce. The Greenville location will take any animal out of county for $100 each animal, dog or cat, it doesn't matter. Not a fee that we can get into, especially on a regular basis, maybe for an emergency type situation, but not something we would want to be on a regular basis. It would cripple us financially there also. So it's the one category that I can tell you I don't have an answer for right now, and I don't like that. We're struggling. We have stray dogs running everywhere. We have people that are not being responsible pet owners and that are letting their dogs run. Along with that, compounding the problem, and then we're not getting dogs spayed or neutered, so we're having puppies everywhere. Kyla Sanders and her mother, Vicki Wilson, Vicki Warden, have been working trying to rescue dogs at a level that they can handle and that stays within ordinance, because we have a limit on how many dogs you can have. They just took all these puppies that were dumped and are already rehabbing them, getting them the medicine, getting them the veterinary services, and then we'll have them homes. But that's a slow process, and it's a costly process. $75 doesn't even begin to start on what they're doing, because they're spaying and neutering dogs. They're getting them their shots and everything else, so there's a huge expense behind that. The only way to make that system work would be to have multiple individuals who would volunteer to open up and be a rescue shelter at their homes and be able to do the exact same thing that Kyla and her mother are doing right now. So it's going to take a coordinated effort and a group of people to come together and have a heart to really make that happen. The other thing is going to be a change in attitude in the community. And one way we can address that is if you know where the dog that is running in your neighborhood lives and you know the family that owns them, you call City Hall. I will come out to verify that dog lives in that residence. I'm not just going to take somebody's word. I'm going to come out and verify myself. When that's been verified, we'll start the process and we'll send a letter explaining to them that they have 10 days to correct this problem. If not, then they can be brought to municipal court. The fine for a dog at large starts at $200 and can be as high as $500. So that's the only way that we can address it right now. So if you know where the dog lives, you call us, you let us know, we'll go out and address it. And I'm telling you, anybody that does, if it's verified where that dog lives, we send the letters. Don't think we don't. I go out and we verify, and I can show you copies. We send letters out to address this. So with dogs, that's our only recourse right now, y'all. I don't like not having an answer, but this is where we're at, and I'll continue to work on it. And if something breaks, then I'll be glad to communicate that. In saying this, and I want to say this in the right manner, we get calls and we get Facebook and what have you about stray dogs, and here's my response, y'all. I know we have stray dogs, and it's an ongoing issue. If you have an aggressive dog that's truly aggressive and attacking other animals or people, of course we're going to come and deal with that. If you have a extremely sick animal that needs to be dealt with, we're going to come and take care of that. If you have a dog that has died on your property, we can dispose of that. But as far as stray dogs right now, this is the situation we're at, and we'll continue to try to resolve that. So that's where we're at with dogs. On the category of permits, what I want to state on that is we have had permits in place for years here in the city, and permits are set up not so that we can try to nickel and dime you on fees, but so that we can come out and see where you're trying to either build or what you're trying to do to make sure that it's not on city right-of-way, city easements, it's not on top of water lines or things like that that could cause a problem down the road. So my response is, when you ask, do I need a permit for this? My answer to you is, come to City Hall and come and ask. Some things we do have permits for and we do have fees for, and the ladies will explain that to you and tell you how that works. Other things that we may not have permits for, just let me come out and see what you're doing to make sure. An example, if you replace a fence, you don't have to have a permit to replace a fence because it was an existing fence. But my response to you would be, if that's an older fence that's been up for some time, please come up and have me come and look, because we don't know that the first fence was built to code or to standards like it was supposed to be. We don't know if it had the proper setback. We don't know if it was on top of service lines or what have you. So let me come out and look. If there are fees involved, they're minimal fees. It's not our goal, again, to nickel and dime people. It is so that we can come out and make sure that what you're doing works and falls within our current ordinances. So my response on permits is, always come and check whatever you're doing, and then or call the office. You don't have to come in, you can call. We'll explain to you, and then we can go from there. So again, we want to be consistent on that, and those permits are put in place simply so that we can make sure that we are doing things within our ordinances and our zoning regulations. So that's the topic on permits that I wanted to talk about. And of course, if there's any questions ever on any of these things, you can call City Hall, get my phone number, you can call me and we can talk about it. Last topic I wanted to talk about today was the Delta County Action Team. And I want to give you just a little history. A year plus ago, I knew that there was more to be done here in Cooper and Delta County than any one individual could do. So started talking to some people here in town and getting some ideas and brainstorming about how do we want to market ourselves, what do we want to even come up with a slogan for the city or for the county, long-term plans, what do we want to do for business development, economic development, all those areas. And we met and we talked, and some good things came out of that. The Cruising the Bricks came out of that. We did a massive power washing and cleaning on the square of some of the downtown buildings that kind of spurred out of that. But this past Friday, we met and we brought some other individuals. We brought Economic Development, which is the Delta County Economic Development Committee, and we brought Chamber of Commerce in to combine all efforts to go and make sure that we all agreed on the topics that we thought were important, and then to assign somebody responsibility, not to go do these things, but to be the coordinator to help get them coordinated and funneled into the right areas. So one of the categories was housing. We all know that there's a lack of housing. Some of the rental properties that we do have here are not in the greatest of shapes. We're working that through ordinance and through inspections, getting that corrected. And we just went through and tagged 28 homes for demolition that were completely beyond repair, homes that could not be repaired. Excuse me. So housing's a real issue. We are trying to do some things that are outside the box where we can take lots that have gone up for lack of taxes being paid. We can take those lots and use them for an economic tool to bring builders in to have houses built and sold to help spur some economic growth there. And I really feel once we get some of that going, that there'll be a trickle-down effect, and we'll have several that we could see built through that. So the housing project, Brenda Stewart with Century 21, who also works with the economic development, has taken that category over, and I'll be working with her closely on that one. Kimber Black from Pecan Gap with the pumpkin patch is with our chamber. She's the vice president, and she has taken over marketing so that we can work on everything from Facebook to billboards to how we want to get out and market ourselves to the rest of the world. We want to show businesses that Cooper's a viable option for them. We want to show possible families that want to relocate that Cooper's a good place to be. So Kimber's going to head that up with marketing. And on that, the slogan that we have come up with is Delta County, a great place to work, a better place to live. I work here and I love working here, and I wouldn't live anywhere. I choose to live here. I could live other places, but I choose to live here, and I love this place. Next category is events. All types of events that we're looking to do, even all the way to, we were talking a little bit planning for 6 years down the road for the solar eclipse that will come through this area. Jennifer Dwyer is going to head that team up, obviously working close with the chamber and then other individuals here in the community that want to come in and help in that category. So we look to see some things down at our park. We have a beautiful park that we don't utilize, so we look to see some events down there and some nice things to promote Cooper itself. Business development category, I've taken that category and going to work very closely with the economic team and then pull some other business people here in the community together to talk about what kind of businesses do we want to target, what kind of incentives do we want to offer to try to get businesses to come here. We need to put together basically a talk sheet of Cooper. What does Cooper have to offer, from population to all the things that would make a business want to come to relocate here. Keep Delta County beautiful. Perfect candidate for that was Carmen Cheshire with the Cooper Cleanup Crew. And we talked about how there are national organizations that she can get us affiliated with that will actually open us up for a little bit of money and maybe some grants and stuff through some of our cleanup efforts. So Carmen's going to head up Keep Delta County Beautiful. High-speed internet is a true need, and to get some businesses here will require us to have high-speed internet all through Delta. And right now we have it in certain pockets, and we have fiber optics in some very limited areas. So Kevin Carter and Bob Hurst have taken on the task of working with internet providers and seeing who will partner with us for the future to get Delta County high-speed internet like we need, so that we can offer to businesses and families that would like to move to our county. And then Jeremy Glossop with Small Town Beard Company, teacher over in the North Lamar system, has taken over our Facebook page and just come on with this group and going to help us in doing some videography with some of our events. And it's been fun watching him work with our Facebook page so quickly, because he can do it better than I can. So. But here's the thing that we talked about during this event, and I don't want to spend a bunch of time because I don't want to bore you, but while we met, we talked about successes for 2018, and it blew my mind when we listed the businesses that had opened in Delta County during this time period. And I'm just going to run through them real quickly. Charleston Sky, the Emigres, Bullard Leather, Collateral Consultants, Hard Metal Solutions, M&M Restaurant, Cooper Candles and More, the Tiny House Bakery, El Fuego, Rebel Rose, Texas Wood Wizard, and then just a couple of things that I think are noteworthy. Jeremy Rogers and the purchase of his building and total remodeling, doing such a beautiful job on that. Excited to see what he's going to do and the results that that's going to do to that building and for our downtown. And then one of the other things we noted was the Cooper cleanup crew progressed into actually demolishing homes. Such a big step from just going around picking up trash. So, y'all, great things that have happened in Delta County in 2018. So we want to make note of that, and not that there aren't things that we need to work on and to get fixed, but we want to stay focused on the positive so that we can push ahead. So those are the categories that I wanted to communicate to you. Next month we'll have another one. I thank Amanda for taking her time and coming and getting this video put together, and we will see you next month.